Peter Bergman's Jack Abbott has been at a bit of a crossroads in his life. In recent months, he's experienced a great deal of loss on the familial front, so The Young and the Restless devoted a special episode to the character. It was shined on Jack as he starts to figure out the next chapter in his life. Young and the Restless, Jack once loved the Abbott mansion is once again turning into Jack's place following the death of Abbott matriarch Dina Mergeron, Marla Adams, as well as Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller, moving to Italy to be near his true love Summer Newman, Hunter King. He's taken his son Harrison, Kellen Enriquez, with him. Jack feels alone these days. Receiving an invitation to Kyle and Summer's wedding gave Jack cause to re-examine his life. In a special episode, Jack had both real and imagined conversations with important people in his life. He started out talking to his sister, Tracy Abbott, Beth Maitland, who tried to summarize what Jack's predicament was: he's lonely. Next, Jack heard his late mother Dina's voice. The two had a tumultuous relationship as Dina left the family when Jack was still a teenager. Fortunately, they made peace before she passed away. Suddenly, Jack was transported to the Chancellor Mansion where he saw niece Abby Newman Abbott Chancellor, Melissa Ordway, and her new son Dominic. Tracy was there, too. Jack talks to Tracy at the Chancellor Mansion. Jack's conversation with Tracy continued. He lamented to her that he'd never found that one true love. Perhaps that's not surprising since Jack's first marriage to Patty Williams was loveless. He only got hitched to please his dad, John Abbott, Jerry Douglas. Then, Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, appeared. Jack recently confessed to Phyllis that he was still in love with her, adding that he'd been dating Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, hoping that she'd turn into someone else, Phyllis. Jack said he dumped Sally because she was unethical. Engineering an out-of-town job offer for rival Summer is small potatoes in the grand scheme of things. Perhaps, Jack owes Sally an apology. Sure, she wasn't forthcoming about her conspiring against Summer, but Jack was hoping Sally would turn into Phyllis. Talk about not being truthful. In Jack's dreamlike state, Nicholas Newman, Joshua Morrow, blasted Jack for telling Phyllis he still cared about her. In Jack's imagination, Nicholas's fury was unbridled. Jack kept maintaining that he didn't do anything duplicitous. Then, fantasy Phyllis appeared again. Jack kept apologizing for being honest about his feelings. Why Jack is sorry? We're not sure exactly why Jack keeps apologizing. Didn't Nick and Phyllis gravitate back into each other's lives when they weren't seeing anyone else? Hasn't this recent reunion between the two been a bit casual? Yes, there are feelings there, but it's not like they're getting married again. Jack dated Phyllis long before Nick ever did. He has a right to share his feelings with Phyllis if he so desires. Next, Sally appeared in Jack's fantasy. She suggested he close the door on Phyllis so he could move on. Fantasy Nick also chastised Sally for making Summer leave town, and we finally got to hear Sally say what we've been wanting her to say for some time: nobody put a gun to Summer's head to get her to go. I'm so sorry that I got her that fabulous job in a very glamorous city, Sally sarcastically said. What a tragedy. How will she ever survive? Fantasy Sally got another dig in that we wouldn't mind her making in the real world. She pointed out she never got in a car and ran people over as Phyllis did years ago when she mowed down Christine Blair, Laura Lee Bell, and Paul Williams, Doug Davidson. So, why should she get a free pass? Sally asked. Jack apologized to Sally in his fantasy. Perhaps he will in real life? Next, Jack was transported to the scaled-down version of the Newman Ranch. We still so miss the old ranch. Fantasy Nikki blasted Jack that she and Victor Newman, Eric Braden, are happy despite everything and that Jack has nothing. Why are you attacking me? Jack asked Fantasy Nikki. That's what we were wondering. Jack seems to be dealing with numerous issues in this fantasy episode. His desire to be in a relationship, his still being in love with Phyllis, his conflicts with Victor. For some reason, Jack's conjured up all these people in his life in order to defend himself, but from what we're not exactly sure. "I didn't hurt anyone," Jack maintained. Then, Fantasy Phyllis appeared again and told Jack he had to be honest with himself. The truth comes out on Young and the Restless newsflash. He was honest with himself when he told Phyllis he still cared about her. Before Fantasy Phyllis could tell Jack what he truly wanted, he woke up, perhaps more confused than ever. We're a bit confused, too. What was the purpose of this episode? Jack wants love? Don't we all? We're still not exactly sure what's driving Jack, or why he is being so hard on himself. Jack arranged for a meeting with Nick once his fantasies came to a close. While Fantasy Nick was raging over Jack having feeling for Phyllis, real Nick wasn't bothered or threatened by his ex-stepdad's feelings for his main squeeze. Nick felt Jack had nothing to apologize for, but that he, in fact, did for moving in on Phyllis many years ago when Jack was involved with her. Three-time Daytime Emmy winner Peter Bergman delivered in this special Young and the Restless episode, as he always does as Jack went on this journey of self-examination. However, we're befuddled as to why Jack was so hard on himself for telling the truth, especially when Nick was nonplussed by Jack's admission. Usually, it's keeping secrets that cause conflicts on soaps. The Young and the Restless, airs weekdays on CBS. Check your local listings for airtimes. For more about what's coming up in Genoa City, check out all the latest that's been posted on Y&R Spoilers, and for an in-depth look at the show's history, click here. At Luck Test, Y.